As some of you may already be aware, I work in cinema, which does mean that I get asked some pretty weird and wonderful questions from time to time. Do I get to watch films for free? Yes. Yes, I do. How do you think I see so many? What's the most disgusting thing I've ever found in a screen? Well, a dirty nappy and a used condom in the same screen. A few days ago, a customer asked me if there was a post-credit scene at the end of Midway to tease a potential sequel for Midway, based on the real-life World War II Battle of Midway. Why yes sir, Samuel L. Jackson steps out of the shadows and sets up the World War II cinematic universe, featuring Dunkirk and Saving Private Ryan. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Luke's Reviews, and on today's video I will be reviewing Midway, which is Roland Emmerich's newest blockbuster extravaganza. Emmerich is moving away from aliens attacking the White House and then the world, and also the end of the world, and now he's tackling the real-life World War II Battle of Midway, bringing with him a fairly large ensemble cast of Ed Skrein, Luke Evans, Woody Harrelson, Patrick Wilson, Aaron Eckhart, Dennis Quaid, just to name a few. Midway opens almost immediately with the attack on Pearl Harbor, as the Japanese bomb and decimate the American naval base. Through strategic planning and a lust for vengeance, though, America begin to predict where Japan will attack next, so they can set up a surprise of their own. I won't lie here, I was sorely disappointed with Midway. Any effort to, in my personal opinion, any effort to potentially present these men, these real-life heroes, as the human beings, as the fleshed-out characters that they should have been, so we get an understanding of who they are, has been completely scrapped, was thrown out the window, because all Emmerich seems to want to focus on is the shooty pew pew aspect of it all. Midway is an incredibly bland, empty film that should have been a really powerful testament to these heroes. Starting off with some positives, of which there are so very few. The action, to begin with, is fairly thrilling. Dive bombing is usually quite exciting, and Emmerich does have a knack for directing these large-scale explosive sequences, so parts of this are in his wheelhouse. You only need to see films like Independence Day or 2012 to know that Roland Emmerich does destruction pretty well, but Midway shouldn't have just been a brainless explosion fest. There are also two fairly strong performances from Woody Harrelson and Patrick Wilson, although they're mostly left to the confines of a strategy room. But let's delve into my main complaint with Midway, and that is that none of the characters here have any depth. We are given the tiniest amount of info or any sense of personality, so these characters never really come to life. They're just stereotypes of characters that we've seen in war films before. Stop me if you've heard any of these characters come up in a war film before, but Ed Skrein is the cocky pilot who takes some risks and puts himself and others into precarious and dangerous situations. Luke Evans is his really stern and serious superior. Mandy Moore is the doting wife who waits anxiously by the phone as she waits to hear if her husband is still alive. Nick Jonas. Oh, Nick Jonas is in this film. Nick Jonas is the gung-ho hero. Every character here, these are real people. These are meant to be real life heroes, and yet none of them are given a sense of identity. They're all given the shallowest form of depth, so Emmerich can then just go off and play with his toys again. And because these roles are so thinly realised, it gives the actors nothing to do. Ed Skrein is a very likeable actor. He's turned out some pretty good performances in the past, but here, he's just so bland and dull. Nick Jonas, well, I'm glad the singing career is going well for you. It's going really well for you. So, please just keep to that. And again, the other roles simply fit into whatever hole that Emmerich needs them to, so he can return to blowing things up. And so ultimately, it boils down to a very poor script, and Emmerich's direction, it just doesn't fit here. He never gives the film a chance to breathe. We go from one gigantic action set piece that, for some people, you may think that's a big third act epic finale, and then we get the smallest amount of downtime before we're back up in the air again and another action set piece is kicking off. And that's the thing, the editing in this movie is shocking. It is so disorientating. Because of this, the events of the battle make it impossible to follow. I studied the Second World War. I studied the events of Pearl Harbor. I studied the Battle of Midway. And I was beginning to become confused about what actually happened because of how poor the editing is here. Now look, you heard me mention that the action sequences here are fairly thrilling, and they are, but you also heard me mention that they were when they began. And like I said, dive bombing can be quite thrilling. It's exciting as to whether the bomb will reach, whether they'll pull up in time. But once they've done that for about the 6th or 7th time, it just loses all momentum and excitement. Look, I don't hate Midway, but I do think that it was fairly ill-advised and really not suited to Roland Emmerich's talents. The movie saps all interest and care directed towards these heroes in substitute for repetitive dogfights and generic and flat action set pieces. The actors are left with no material to work with and flounder around doing what they can. This is far from the movie these soldiers deserve. Overall, I'm going to give Midway a 3 out of 10. I didn't want to give a film with this story such a low grade, but yeah, they dropped the ball on this one. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on Midway. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments below. Also, my question to you, instead of Roland Emmerich, I want you to perhaps tell me who you think a better director would be to helm the Battle of Midway. Me personally, I'd like to see Gavin O'Connor direct this, or do his own take on this. Yeah, he's directed Warrior, The Accountant, and one thing that I've noticed within his films is that he puts the human characters first instead of the giant spectacle. You only need to look at Warrior to see that, but I think he'd be quite an interesting director to helm this. Also, as some of you guys may already be aware, I am still partaking in No Shave November. We're about just over a week in now. I don't know. I don't know if this suits me. The worst part is it's not even growing up here. So I'm just developing this really weird chin strap. But yeah, I'm doing it for a fantastic cause for cancer research, prevention and protection. I'll include a link below in the description if you would like to donate. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of this film down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. The links to all of my social media accounts are in the description below. Many thanks for watching guys, and I shall see you in the next video.